You were guided to this today. Don't miss the signal. You are not here by accident. Right now, in this precise moment, reality has leaned close, and it has whispered your name. You may not have noticed it at first. A flash of déjà vu, a fleeting thought, a pattern in the clouds. But that whisper carries more weight than the loudest shout. It is subtle, yet insistent, like a feather brushing against the skin. Impossible to ignore if you are willing to listen. What if the universe speaks not in grand declarations, but in these tiny nudges, these quantum vibrations that only the stillness of your attention can catch? Consider the way two people stand in the same crowded street, under the same gray sky, and experience entirely different realities. One feels tension, anxiety, the pressure of the day pressing down. The other notices a stranger's smile, the rhythm of footsteps, the glimmer of sunlight through glass, and feels guided, carried. The difference is not circumstance, it is frequency. Consciousness, scientists say, collapses possibility into form. Your inner state, your emotions, your attention, these are not passive responses to life. They are the brush that paints the canvas of your experience. Every subtle signal you receive is a strand of potential, waiting for you to notice, waiting for you to choose. In quantum experiments like the double slit, reality behaves differently when observed. The very act of your attention, the alignment of your awareness, creates the world you inhabit. That feeling that something is calling you, that recurring coincidence that seems too precise to be random, is your consciousness engaging in a silent dialogue with the universe. These are not accidents. They are whispers, quantum nudges, proof that the universe responds to the one who notices. Think of a moment when you felt inexplicably drawn to a person, a place, or an idea. Maybe it was a book that appeared at the perfect time, a song on the radio that mirrored your inner landscape, or a stranger who said exactly what your heart needed to hear. In that moment, your unconscious mind aligned with a higher current, collapsing probability into presence. You did not find it, it found you, guided by the subtle threads of energy connecting all things. The real awakening happens when you begin to see these whispers not as random events, but as invitations. An invitation to pause, to reflect, to align, to let go of the idea that life happens to you and embrace the truth. Life is happening with you. You're not a passive observer. You are a participant in the ongoing creation of reality. Every signal, every coincidence, every flutter of intuition is a mirror reflecting the frequency of your own consciousness back to you. Today, as you read these words, reality has whispered again. The question is whether you will listen. Will you notice the subtle currents beneath the chaos, the patterns beneath the noise? Will you allow yourself to awaken to the invisible signals that are always guiding, always nudging, always waiting for your recognition? There is a freedom in hearing the whisper. There is a power in responding. And there, in the delicate space between noticing and acting, you begin to shift. Not just your life, but the very reality you call your own. You are being called. You are being guided, and it all begins with a whisper. What if everything you see is only the surface of a deeper design, a lattice of possibility that exists beyond the eyes of the untrained observer? You are walking through an invisible architecture, a web of probabilities where every thought, every feeling, every choice becomes a beam in the framework of your life. You think the world is solid, that events happen to you randomly, but the truth is far more intimate, far more profound. Beneath the ordinary, beneath the daily noise, lies the blueprint of your existence, and it is waiting for your awareness to touch it. Imagine two people sitting in the same cafe. One notices only the clatter of cups, the impatient footsteps of strangers, the flicker of advertisements across the wall. The other sees patterns, connections, subtle harmonies, the way sunlight refracts through glass and lands exactly where it should. The world has not changed between them, only the observer has. Consciousness, science tells us, collapses possibility into form. Every observation is a choice. Every belief is a beam of light that structures reality itself. In the quantum realm, particles exist as clouds of potential until observed. The double-slit experiment shows that observation shapes outcome. You are doing the same thing every day with every thought. Your emotions, your focus, your very attention act as instruments of creation. Anger tightens the lattice, fear contracts it, joy expands it, love aligns it. And yet, most of us move through life unaware, thinking that reality happens to us rather than with us. You are both architect and inhabitant. The blueprint exists, but your choices, your observation, bring it into being. Think of a belief you carry silently, a recurring story in your mind. Perhaps it is the story that I am not enough or that the universe is against me. That belief, unexamined, is an invisible beam in your architecture. It is shaping your relationships, your opportunities, even your physical health. And yet it is malleable. Just as a building can be redesigned, so too can your perception reshape the lattice beneath your life. Your attention, once conscious, becomes a tool of creation rather than a shadow of limitation. The invisible architecture is patient. It waits for you to notice, to step into co-creation. Signs, synchronicities, the subtle cues you brush off. These are the beams of light showing you where your attention has power. Reality mirrors you, not to punish, but to reveal. It reflects the frequency of your inner state. A shift within shifts the world outside. And the most radical act you can perform is to step back, observe consciously, and realign. To collapse the infinite potentials into a new blueprint, one that resonates with the truth of who you are meant to become. Today, see the world not as fixed, but as fluid. Feel beneath the surface, sense the invisible beams of possibility, and notice how your attention touches them. You are the observer, the architect, the co-creator. Every thought you nurture, every feeling you cultivate is a line in the design of your reality. And once you step into that awareness, the invisible becomes tangible, and the blueprint of your life begins to glow in response to your conscious choice. You are not just living in reality. You are shaping it. You are surrounded by messages, though you rarely notice them. The world is not silent. It speaks in a language you have been trained to ignore. A flicker of light, a repeated number, a song that seems written for your heart. These are not coincidences. They are signs, symbols, vibrational nudges from a universe that mirrors your inner state, reflecting your thoughts, your fears, your longings. What if every chance encounter, every surprising moment, every inexplicable intuition was a line of dialogue between you and reality itself? Consider two travelers walking the same path. One sees a broken branch on the trail and trips, frustrated by what seems like misfortune. The other notices it too, but pauses, sees the pattern in its shadow, the way the sunlight dances on its jagged edge, and senses a message. Slow down, look closer, be present. The events are identical. The difference lies in interpretation. Your inner state filters the signs you receive. Consciousness does not just observe, it translates. It collapses possibility into meaning. In the quantum world, particles respond to observation. In your world, the same principle applies. Every expectation, every focus, every emotional frequency acts as a lens, coloring the signals you perceive. A dream, a gut feeling, a serendipitous coincidence, these are not random. They are encoded, waiting for your awareness to decode them. But the translation requires attentiveness. It requires pause. It requires that you quiet the noise of habit, distraction, and fear long enough to hear what is being whispered. Think of a time when a seemingly trivial event changed your course. Perhaps a stranger's glance, a fleeting phrase, or a street sign that caught your eye. At the time, it may have seemed meaningless, easily ignored. Yet it was a thread connecting you to a larger tapestry. A subtle signal that nudged you toward a choice, a revelation, a new path. The universe speaks not in shouts, but in a quiet, persistent rhythm, and only those attuned to its cadence will hear. Learning to read the subtle language of signs is like learning to read music in silence. It requires sensitivity, patience, and trust. Not everything is guidance, and not every coincidence is cosmic law. Yet patterns emerge for those willing to notice, to reflect, to distinguish true signals from noise. Your intuition, the quiet compass of your body, heart, and mind, is the key. When your internal frequency aligns with conscious awareness, the signs become unmistakable. They light your path, mirror your state, and remind you that the world is not external, but a reflection of your inner universe. Today, begin to observe. Begin to notice the repetition, the oddities, the subtle pulls you once ignored. Distinguish the nudges from distraction, the guidance from habit. Reality has been speaking to you all along, and when you begin to listen, you discover a profound truth. Life is never random, and you are never alone in the unfolding. Every symbol, every synchronicity, every sensation is a doorway. Step through it, and the conversation begins. You're not merely walking through life, you are reading it. You are participating in it, and the more you learn its language, the more clearly you will hear your own heart reflected back in the signs around you. Every moment you think you are choosing nothing, you are choosing everything. The space between decision and action is not empty. It is a field vibrating with infinite potential, waiting for your awareness to collapse possibility into form. You are both dancer and choreographer in a quantum ballet, where every thought, every emotion, every intention sends ripples across reality. What if the smallest shift in focus, the gentlest sway of attention, could bend the trajectory of your life in ways you cannot yet imagine? Consider two colleagues receiving the same critique from their manager. One reacts with defensiveness, their mind spinning with doubt, their heart constricting with fear. The other pauses, breathes, and chooses curiosity, choosing to see the feedback as a signal rather than a judgment. The situation is identical, yet the outcomes diverge. Consciousness collapses possibility into form, and your inner state, the frequency of your attention, becomes the invisible hand guiding the unfolding of your reality. In quantum physics, the act of observation changes outcome. The double-slit experiment reveals that particles exist in clouds of potential until measured, until focused upon. Your choices operate in the same way. When you consciously align attention with intention, when you observe not only what is, but what could be, you direct probabilities, bending them with unseen precision. Your emotions, like magnetic fields, attract realities that mirror their frequency. Fear contracts, suspicion fragments, but love, curiosity, and gratitude expand, creating a resonance that reshapes the quantum field around you. Think of a decision you once dismissed as insignificant, a smile you offered to a stranger, a word you hesitated to speak, a step you delayed taking. That small choice sent ripples. It altered the dance of probabilities, opening doors you never saw, closing paths that were never meant for you. Every moment offers the same potential. The universe does not coerce you, but it responds to the energy you bring. You are not powerless. You are a creator in the most literal sense. The freedom to choose is not a limitation. It is a profound power, and yet, most people surrender it to habit, distraction, or fear. They believe the world forces outcomes upon them, unaware that every second carries the quantum possibility of transformation. To choose consciously is to participate in a sacred dance with reality itself. You step, reality responds. You pivot, possibilities shift. You pause and the field holds, waiting for your next move. Today, recognize that your choices are not small. Even when you feel trapped, even when the world seems to press upon you, every breath, every thought, every gentle adjustment of focus carries consequence. The quantum field bends to your observation, and your free will is the instrument that shapes it. You are not drifting in the river of life. You are guiding its current with the precision of your attention, the clarity of your heart, and the courage of your awareness. You are not just choosing your path. You are creating it. And in every deliberate choice, you awaken to the power of the infinite possibilities that exist in your quantum dance. You are not feeling by accident. Every emotion that rises within you is a signal, a frequency, a magnet pulling reality toward the pattern of your inner world. What you feel is not separate from what you experience. It is the invisible pulse that shapes it. Joy, curiosity, love, gratitude, they are not just pleasant states. They are the language of creation, the vibration through which possibility takes form. And yet, most of the time, you are unaware of the subtle power in the rhythm of your own heart. Consider two parents hearing the same criticism from a teacher. One reacts with frustration and guilt, tension building in their chest. The other notices the same words but responds with curiosity and calm, seeing the message as an opportunity to adjust and grow. The circumstances are identical, The experience is completely different. Your emotions are not just reactions. They are the energetic signatures that collapse the potential of what could be into the reality you inhabit. Consciousness shapes matter, and emotion is the frequency that guides it. Neuroscience confirms what mystics have known for centuries. Elevated emotional states rewire the brain. Gratitude strengthens neural pathways, love expands perceptual clarity, curiosity opens doors previously unseen. Your subconscious is a record of frequencies. When you tune it intentionally, you reshape the probabilities, magnetizing experiences that align with the energy you hold. A thought alone may plant a seed, but feeling it fully waters it into life. Think of a moment when you felt truly inspired, an idea, a vision, a sudden clarity. That feeling did not emerge randomly. It resonated at a frequency that your unconscious recognized as aligned with creation. It attracted circumstances, people, and opportunities that reflected the same vibration. The universe is not indifferent to your emotional state. It mirrors it. Love begets love. Curiosity invites novelty. Gratitude draws abundance. Each emotion you cultivate becomes a channel, a bridge between unseen possibility and tangible experience. Here is the paradox. The world will often challenge you with circumstances that seem out of alignment, yet your feelings remain the lever of influence. You cannot always control the external, but you can always align the internal. When you choose elevated emotions, even in the midst of difficulty, you are reshaping the quantum field. You are collapsing infinite potential into the experience you wish to inhabit. This is not wishful thinking. This is the science of consciousness, the poetry of the heart, the mechanics of manifestation made visible. Today, feel deliberately. Notice the frequency of your state. Are you vibrating in fear, tension, or doubt? Or are you tuning toward joy, curiosity, and gratitude? The choice is always yours. The subtle recalibration of emotion changes not only your perception, but also the fabric of reality responding to you. Your heart is not passive. It is the compass, the magnet, the field through which creation flows. You are not just reacting to life, you are generating it. And every feeling you cultivate becomes the rhythm of your own manifestation. What if everything you see is a reflection, not of the world, but of yourself? You look outward and believe life is happening to you, but the truth is far more intimate. The people, circumstances, and challenges around you are mirrors, echoing back your beliefs, your fears, your unresolved emotions. Reality is not fixed. It is fluid, responsive, alive, waiting for your conscious awareness to leave its mark. Consider two co-workers receiving the same harsh feedback. One feels attacked, defensive, hurt, and walks away blaming the manager. The other feels challenged, curious, and walks away noticing what this mirrors about their own assumptions and growth. The circumstances are identical, yet the experience is entirely different. The external world merely reflects the frequency you carry. Consciousness collapses possibility into form, and your internal state is the prism through which reality refracts. In quantum physics, observation changes the outcome. In life, what you notice, what you judge, what you cling to, shapes the reflection you perceive. A crowded street, a tense conversation, a fleeting glance, each is a mirror showing the vibration of your inner world. If anger predominates, the world feels hostile. If love, curiosity, and acceptance lead, the world responds in kind. You are not powerless to your environment. Your inner frequency writes the code of the outer experience. Think of a moment when someone's behavior triggered you profoundly. Perhaps you met someone who was abrupt, dismissive, or critical. Notice how your emotional charge amplified the experience. That reaction is the mirror revealing a pattern within you, an unresolved belief, a fear, a self-judgment. The world is not punishing you. It is providing the most direct reflection of what lies beneath the surface. The challenge is to observe without judgment, to see the reflection clearly, and to consciously adjust the inner state that is creating it. Your beliefs, expectations, and emotions act as energetic lenses, collapsing infinite possibilities into the reality you perceive. The world is a canvas, responsive to the touch of your consciousness. The most subtle shift within, an attitude of curiosity instead of resentment, An openness instead of rigidity, a sense of worthiness instead of self-doubt, can ripple outward, reshaping interactions, opportunities, and circumstances. The reflection changes because you changed first. Today, notice the mirrors around you. See how the world echoes your internal state, not as punishment, but as guidance. Each reflection offers clarity, each pattern an invitation to align with your highest self. You are not a passive observer of life. You are an active co-creator. The canvas of reality waits, responsive to the frequency of your thoughts, the resonance of your emotions, the awareness of your consciousness. You are not living in a world separate from you. You are living in the reflection of yourself. And once you recognize this, you gain the power to consciously choose the reflection you wish to see. You are always on the edge, even when you feel grounded. The threshold of alignment is not a distant goal. It is the subtle space where intention meets possibility, where thought, emotion, and action converge to collapse the infinite into the tangible. What if the moment you feel most ready, most centered, most awake, is the precise point at which the unseen bends toward inevitability? This is the threshold, the delicate balance between quantum potential and conscious manifestation. Consider two friends preparing for the same job interview. One is nervous, scattered, caught in self-doubt, focusing on every potential outcome that could go wrong. The other is calm, breathing, focused on what they wish to create, embodying confidence and curiosity. Both studied the same material, both arrived at the same place, yet their realities diverge. The difference is alignment. When your inner state resonates with your intention, when mind, body, and soul harmonize, the universe responds with a clarity that feels effortless. In quantum physics, particles exist in a cloud of possibilities until observed. Similarly, your desires and intentions remain potential until you align fully with them. Alignment is not simply thinking positively or forcing outcomes. It is feeling fully present, being coherent in emotion, intention, and action. It is the resonance that allows guidance, signs, and opportunities to flow directly into your experience, rather than remaining abstract or delayed. Think of a moment when everything seemed to click. Perhaps a solution arrived suddenly, a meeting happened perfectly, or an insight came in an instant of stillness. That was alignment. Your inner frequency matched the potential of reality, and the threshold was crossed. The universe responded not because it was compelled, but because your vibration was coherent, ready, and open. The threshold exists in that harmony, a tipping point where you no longer push against life, but move with its currents. The paradox is that alignment requires both effort and surrender. You cultivate clarity through focus, intention, and embodied presence. You harmonize your thoughts, emotions, and physical being, and then you release, trusting the field to respond. Resistance dissipates, doubt softens, and what once seemed improbable becomes inevitable. The threshold is not a distant horizon, it is the living, breathing space of now. Every heartbeat, every breath, every deliberate action carries you closer to this delicate edge. Today, stand consciously at this threshold. Notice where your attention flows, where your energy lingers, and where your intention resonates most strongly. Align your body, mind, and soul. Let the quantum potential meet your readiness. When you do, even the subtle whispers of guidance become audible, and the unseen currents carry you effortlessly into form. You are not waiting for manifestation. You are standing at the threshold, aligned, ready, and already co-creating the inevitable. You are never truly lost. The universe is constantly sending signals, subtle alignments, and unlikely coincidences that guide your steps. What you once dismissed as chance, a repeated number, a sudden encounter, an idea appearing at the perfect moment, is actually a compass pointing you toward purpose. Synchronicity is not random. It is the language of the universe, written in symbols, sensations, and perfect timing, waiting for you to recognize it. Consider two travelers arriving at the same train station. One hurries past, missing the fleeting connection that could have changed the course of their day. The other notices a familiar face in the crowd, a song playing in the distance that mirrors an inner thought, a signpost pointing toward an opportunity. Both experience the same station, the same platform, yet only one perceives the guidance encoded in these subtle occurrences. Your awareness determines whether synchronicity becomes a tool or passes unnoticed. In the quantum field, all possibilities exist simultaneously until observed. Your focus, your openness, your conscious attention collapses these infinite potentials into actual experience. Synchronicity is one of the clearest signs of this collapse. When your internal frequency resonates with alignment, curiosity, clarity, gratitude, the universe responds, sending confirmations, patterns, and nudges that feel like magic. The coincidences are not magic at all. They are reflection, resonance, and response. Think of a time when an unexpected meeting, a phone call, or a fleeting idea shifted everything. Perhaps you were at the right place at the right time, or someone appeared who knew exactly what you needed to hear. That moment was not chance. It was the universe meeting you in frequency, collapsing a potential into reality because your awareness had aligned with it. Synchronicities accelerate insight, showing you paths that logic alone cannot predict. Doors that open because your energy is coherent and your intention is clear. The art of navigating synchronicity requires presence. It requires that you quiet the mental chatter, trust your intuition, and notice the repeated patterns that ripple through your life. The universe communicates in timing, reflection, and resonance, but only those attuned will hear its subtle directions. Synchronicity is the handrail of flow, the invisible guide that leads you past dead ends, hesitation, and fear. Today, watch closely. Notice what repeats. Observe the coincidences that lift your heart, spark insight, or stir curiosity. These are not distractions. They are signposts, guiding you toward alignment with your purpose. As you learn to follow these signals, life stops feeling random. It becomes a partnership. The universe is no longer an enigma. It is a co-creator, responding to your frequency, reflecting your intention, and opening doors you never knew existed. You are not wandering blindly. You are navigating with a compass that has always been in your hands. And when you follow it, the path reveals itself, one perfect synchronicity at a time. You are never truly arriving. You are always arriving. Today is not just another page on the calendar. It is a portal, a singular moment vibrating with unseen possibility, a convergence of quantum potential waiting for your awareness to touch it. What if this day, right now, carries the signal you have been seeking, the opportunity, the insight, the alignment that will ripple into all that follows? Every breath, every choice, every glance can collapse infinite potential into something tangible, something life-changing. Consider two people waking in the same city, under the same sky. One moves through the morning distracted, scrolling, rushing, reacting to the noise of habit. The other pauses, notices the subtle light through the window, the rhythm of their own heartbeat, the intuition that lingers like a whisper. One day is ordinary, the other is alive. The difference is presence. The difference is conscious attention. Today is an invitation, not a day to endure, but a signal to answer. In quantum physics, particles exist in clouds of probability until observed. Your attention, focused with intention, collapses these possibilities into reality. Today is the field of infinite potential. Your emotions, your thoughts, your deliberate action are the instruments that translate the unseen into form. Gratitude, curiosity, openness. These frequencies magnetize experiences that align with the life you're capable of creating. Resistance, distraction, doubt. These diffuse the field, scattering potential into noise. You always have a choice about how you engage with this moment. Think of a time when a single decision in a single day changed the course of your life. Perhaps it was a conversation, a risk, a step taken despite fear. That day was no different in the mechanics of time. What made it extraordinary was your willingness to engage fully, to act with presence, to tune your inner frequency to the possibilities unfolding. Each day carries this same invitation. Today, right now, is the same portal, unique, fleeting, charged with the unseen currents of creation. Here is the truth. The universe does not delay its response. It does not hesitate. The moment you align your attention with clarity, your emotions with resonance, and your actions with intention, the signal becomes visible. You are not waiting for tomorrow. You are stepping into now, into the rhythm of possibility, into the subtle guidance that has been waiting for you all along. Today is the threshold, the doorway, the opportunity to translate potential into tangible experience. You are being invited to notice, to feel, to act, to embody the alignment you have cultivated. And as you accept this invitation, the ordinary transforms. The mundane becomes meaningful. The invisible becomes tangible. The universe, responsive and alive, acknowledges your presence. And the ripple of today reaches far beyond the confines of this single moment. You are not merely passing through this day. You are meeting it. You are answering its call. And in doing so, you step fully into the signal you have been given. You are both witness and architect. Every moment of your life is an experiment in consciousness, a canvas where observation collapses infinite possibility into tangible reality. What if the most powerful act you could perform today is to simply observe, not to judge, not to resist, but to see clearly the interplay between your attention, your emotions, and the world unfolding before you? Becoming the observer is not detachment. It is mastery. Consider two friends facing the same unexpected setback. One reacts with fear, frustration, and blame, swept away by circumstance. The other pauses, breathes, notices the patterns of thought and emotion rising within, and chooses the response that serves creation rather than reaction. The events are identical. The difference is observation. The act of seeing oneself in the midst of experience shifts the trajectory, bends probabilities, and invites conscious co-creation. In quantum physics, the observer effect reveals that particles exist in multiple states until observed. Your consciousness operates the same way. Your awareness selects the reality that manifests. Your thoughts, your focus, your emotional resonance all act as lenses, shaping the form that emerges. The universe does not punish. It mirrors. And the observer, fully awake, recognizes that mastery is not control over life, but alignment with it. Think of a moment when you realized you were shaping your own experience, even in subtle ways. Perhaps it was a conversation that unfolded more smoothly when you approached it with calm, a challenge that became opportunity when met with curiosity, or a creative spark that appeared when you shifted your attention. Observation transforms. It illuminates unconscious patterns, allows old beliefs to dissolve, and opens space for intentional creation. The paradox of becoming the observer is that it requires both presence and surrender. You watch, fully engaged, aware of every thought and feeling. You notice without clinging, without forcing, without judgment. And in that space, the infinite possibilities of your life respond. You are no longer trapped in repetition or reaction. You are stepping into the rhythm of your own quantum field, choosing coherence, aligning attention, and allowing reality to unfold in harmony with your highest intention. Today, practice being the observer. Watch your thoughts. Listen to your feelings. Notice the subtle nudges and signals that guide your next move. Recognize the ways you have unconsciously co-created your past, and see clearly how you can consciously shape your future. Each observation is a choice. Each moment of awareness is a thread in the tapestry of your life. You are not merely living life, you are witnessing it, shaping it, co-creating it with each breath and intention. And as you step fully into this role, you awaken to the profound truth. The universe is not outside of you, and reality is not fixed. You are both the observer and the creator, and within that realization lies limitless potential.